Right over there. I was sitting with that because I don't know which is the front. I said it's the middle. This is middle. Because I went to the middle and I saw it with that and I said, yeah, I was saying this is middle now.
Good afternoon. Please stand for the reflection. Gentlemen, please remove your caps. Being here tonight has been the most surreal moment in my life. I've been waiting for this moment for what feels like forever, but now that I'm here, I can't believe it. We have all come a long way to get to where we are now, and now as we stand here in front of all of you, we are ending a chapter in our lives and starting another. We are stepping into a new world, one that is almost completely foreign to us. We are learning new things every day, new responsibilities and new challenges. As we go into our adult life, we will find ourselves facing problems that we never thought of. Yet, as we leave here today, we'll be taking all the necessary skills to start off our new lives. Some of us will be heading off to college, some of us will be heading straight into the workforce. But whatever we choose to do, always remember, with a lot of faith and a lot of trust in God, we can do anything. Now, if you would join me and bow your head in prayer. Dear God, please watch over all of us as we leave this building today and we start our new adventures. Please watch over the teachers as they continue to mold students later on in life to lead this country and become great people. And God, I want you to bless the teachers and the staff, Mr. Pushkar, the superintendent, and the school board president for getting us to where we are now and to helping us do what we are about to do. In Jesus' name, amen. Please remain standing for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good afternoon, friends, family, and staff, and welcome to the 97th Annual Commencement Ceremony. To begin, I would like to say thank you to Ms. Cruz for putting in all the time and effort in being our class advisor, Mr. Tom Ringler for helping us at practice and playing our prelude, and lastly, Mr. Pushkar for his guidance and support as a principal. To all the teachers and staff, without you, we would not be where we are today. You have guided us in the right direction and have played an important role in shaping our lives. You have made us better people, and we will miss you all greatly. And to the class of 2018, I can say these past few years have been quite the journey, a journey that has provided us with something much more than just a race to the end. It has marked a destiny that has been fulfilled in a quest to learn more about ourselves. This journey has allowed us to grow and become more prepared for what the future has to hold. One chapter may have ended, however, that just means it starts the beginning of another. But this time, the book will continue, but it is ours to write.
Good afternoon, Claysburg. Ladies and gentlemen, on this special day, there are three groups of people that I would like to recognize: the teachers, the parents, and the students. First off, I'd like to recognize the teachers seated in the back of the room. Teachers, you have prepared this graduating class exceptionally well for our future endeavors. Even though we probably made you want to pull your hair out on more than one occasion, especially that back row, because of you, we're ready for college and life in general. Where's Mr. Stombaugh? Raise your hand. Except for him. Thank you for preparing us for life in the best way you know how, by teaching. I'd like to especially thank Ms. Cruz and Mr. Ringler. They have been working extremely hard behind the scenes to make us look good, just for you. Parents, you are the true stars today. We would not be here without you. Literally, it's science. In fact, parents, would you please rise so we can recognize all your hard work? Stand up, come on. Yeah. Can we give them a round of applause? Yeah. deserve a lot more than a round of applause. That's all we can give you today, though. You are the reasons we have made it this far. Students, I encourage you to thank your moms and dads, because without them, we wouldn't be sitting on this stage today. Parents, you're probably very proud of your kids today, but just know that we are proud of you too. So thank you. And lastly, students, it took 12 years, but we did it. We're graduating. The years were long and short, both at the same time. Suddenly, we're done with classes and receiving a diploma. And just by getting that diploma, let me tell you, our chances of spending life in prison drop immensely, so we should all be proud. We all have different plans and dreams, and I have no doubt that all of you will be happy and successful in your own ways. The best years are to come, because honestly, if you think standardized testing and cafeteria food are the best days of your life, something is wrong. So many opportunities and experiences are ahead of us. We may be leaving high school, but this is not where we stop. This is our green light.
So here we are. Oh wait, my dad told me not to start with so I better change that. So let me start again. Wow, here we are. 4 years after our journey began, 4 years after endless tests, multiple sporting events, dozens of sleepless nights, and 1,000,001 he said, she said. We've finally made it. Some of us have been waiting for this day for what seems like forever. Others were still uncertain last week if they were going to get to be here today. In any case, we are here because of the guidance and support of many in this room. I'd like to take a moment to thank all of the families, friends, teachers, staff members, and board members that have worked tirelessly for years to get us to this point. We are grateful for each and every one of you. On a more personal note, I would like to thank Ms. Hinkeldyer and Mr. Raptosh, whose doors were always open to me, and who went above and beyond to help me succeed with my academic career. Claysburg-Kimmel is fortunate to have educators like them. I'd also like to thank Mr. Pushkar, who worked and reworked my schedule more than once to accommodate my skating, knowing that skating was just as important to me as my academics. Maybe we didn't always see eye to eye, but we always worked well together to find a good solution. Finally, I want to thank my parents, because I would literally not be here today without their unconditional love and support. They've never told me a dream is too big and have courage to always follow my dreams and my desires. I love you guys, and I will never be able to thank you enough for all that you've done for me. P.S. My mom really rocks. So 4 years went by super fast, just like our parents said it would. So I hope with all my heart that each one of you up here today cherish the moments that we have spent together, because no matter how much you may want to, you can't come back to high school. There's a universal truth we all have to face, whether we want to or not. Everything eventually ends. As much as I've looked forward to this day, I've always disliked endings. The last day of summer, the final chapter of a good book, the end with a close friend. But endings are inevitable. Leaves fall, you close the book, you say goodbye. Today is one of those days for us. Today we say our goodbyes. But as Winnie the Pooh once said, how lucky am I to have something that makes saying goodbye so hard to do. When I was given the honor of class valedictorian and told to prepare my speech, I was nervous on what I was going to say. I knew what I wanted to say, but the dilemma was putting it into words that would be openly received and not offensive to anyone. We are living in such a time that everyone seems overly sensitive, and even the smallest of things can upset, offend, or hurt someone's feelings. I was brought up in the atmosphere of tough love, thick skin, and what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. I realize, though, that some here today are not of that mindset and prefer the approach of walking on eggshells. Therefore, I'm going to try to bridge the gap between the two, if you as an audience agree to keep an open mind. With that being said, I would like to address the CKHS class of 2018 with this thought: live your life. Too often we have been stereotyped in our lives. We have been told who we can talk to and who we can't. We've been told who we should be friends with and who we shouldn't. We've been told what sports we can join and the ones that we can't. We are told these things by the people who we interact with in our everyday lives: parents, siblings, neighbors, church members, and even other friends. Instead of being given the respect that we deserve to make our own decisions as maturing adults, we were, and sometimes still are, treated as just children. Our families, friends, and acquaintances love us, which is really great. But love shouldn't be a conditional thing. Love and friendship is not something that should only be there if we obey and conform to another's will. Our parents and families had their time on the edge, where they were free to choose and explore their own lives, their own friends, and their own careers. This is our time on the edge. Our time to make whatever friends we want, try whatever career we may choose, and travel to wherever we feel like going. We may trip, fall, and falter, but that's okay. That's what we're supposed to do because that's the way life works. After all those mistakes, we may actually finally get it right and achieve things beyond our wildest dreams. So live your life. Those last two words say it all. Your life. Today we say goodbye to our childhood. Goodbye to playdates, parties, tests, field trips, assemblies, laughing about some stupid prank a classmate pulled, and goodbye to the never-ending dramas of high school. Tomorrow we start a brand new adventure, our greatest adventure. We may have friends, which is great, and we may have family that love us, which is wonderful. But our new adventure is our journey for us to make and for us alone. The choices that will come our way have to be ours 100%, the good, the bad, and the ugly. The ones that make us rejoice and the ones that make us want to cry. They have to be our choices, our decisions, because that's the right we've earned in life, to be our own people. This past year, I've observed this class before you, and in that reflective time, I've noticed many things about us. We, as a class, have some amazing gifts. We have comedians that can make you smile or laugh on even the worst of days. We have athletes who may not get state titles or public acknowledgments, but they are extremely dedicated to being as excellent as they possibly can be in their sport, and I would want any one of them on my team any day. We have some of the most talented artists. Their creations make you look on in awe and wish you had half of that ability. We have some of the brightest graduates of Claysburg-Kimmel High School. Standing here in front of you today was definitely not a cakewalk. I am proud to be ranked first in the class, but believe me, to be the best, you definitely have to beat the best, which there are plenty of up on this stage. There are people in our class who would walk to the ends of the earth to help a fellow peer. Often they might have been talked about or ignored, but I encourage you all to search them out. Make a friend of them, or reunite a friendship with them, because in life it doesn't hurt to have someone who will get in the trenches with you. Sadly, in my observations, I've also seen the invisible puppet strings being pulled that were not allowing many of you to be yourselves sometimes. But that was all in the past, and today is our future. Live your life. Enjoy your life. Celebrate it even. Embrace the flaws that make you, you. In the words of Marilyn Monroe, imperfection is beauty, madness is genius, and it's better to be absolutely ridiculous than absolutely boring. So live your life. There's a huge world outside of these Claysburg County lines, and that world doesn't care what you did or who you were in high school. Now's our time to start anew with a clean slate, hit the reset button, forget the past, and run head first towards our futures. When you come to a dilemma, always take the high road. The views are always better up there. When you come to a fork in the road, take the one less traveled. That's where all the best adventures begin. Be willing to stand alone, even if it's scary. You will learn more about yourself and the others around you in those moments than any other time in your life. Hunter S. Thompson once wrote, "Life should not be a journey to the grave with the intention of arriving safely in a pretty and a well-preserved body, but rather to skid in broadside in a cloud of smoke, thoroughly used up, totally worn out, and loudly proclaiming, 'Wow, what a ride.'" Finally, let me address the questions that come along with graduation. Who are we? What are we going to be? How do we define ourselves? The truth is, we don't actually know. It's hard to answer that right now when our lives are just beginning. But I'd like to leave you with this famous ending letter from the Breakfast Club, only tweaked a little bit. Dear parents, families, friends, and educators, We accept the fact that we've had to sacrifice the past 4 years of our lives here at Claysburg-Kimmel High School, but we think you're crazy to make us tell you who we think we are. What do you care? You see us as you want to see us, in the simplest terms, in the most convenient definitions. You've categorized us as brains, athletes, basket cases, princesses, and criminals, correct? At least that's the way we saw each other at the start of our high school lives. But we were brainwashed. Throughout these past 4 years, what we've found out about each other is that each one of us is a brain and an athlete and a basket case, a princess, and a criminal. Does that answer your question? Sincerely yours, the Claysburg-Kimmel graduating class of 2018.
The class of 2018 is honored to present a special award to a teacher that has been with us since the start of our journey here at CK High. This teacher tore apart our run-on sentences, questioned our sentence fragments, and educated us on grammar rules. The educational foundation that she laid for us as 7th grade students prepared us for success throughout the years. As juniors, we were blessed yet again to have her as an English instructor. However, that year was different. She was not only the teacher, but also a mentor, friend, and loyal guider. This teacher believed in our work and saw potential in all of us. She pushed us to put our best effort into everything we did. This teacher not only shaped us into wonderful writers and speakers, but also gave us confidence and reminded us to always believe in ourselves. We may not remember everything you said, but we will remember how special you made us feel. It is simply not enough to say thank you for all the countless hours you have put into bettering our education. On behalf of the class of 2018, it is my distinct honor to present this year's Teacher Appreciation Award to Mrs. Bennett.
So I promised myself I wouldn't cry this year, but those words that she said were so beautiful, and here it goes. That's one thing about me. I wear my heart on my sleeve, and I can't not, I guess. But I would like to start out by saying a quote from Martin Luther King Jr. He once said, "Intelligence plus character. That is the goal of true education." Throughout your years at Claysburg-Kimmel High School, I think you have gained both, which is a true accomplishment. It is truly an honor to stand before you today to receive this year's Teacher Appreciation Award. But I'd like to accept this for all of the teachers that you had along the way that have earned a special place in your hearts and that you will remember. Ones who cared enough about you to hopefully ignite in you the spark they have for what they were trying to teach. But the true appreciation goes out to you today, class of 2018. I've had the privilege of seeing you walk into my classroom on the first day of your 7th grade year, and then seeing you walk through my doors again as 11th graders. I've had the opportunity to watch you grow and mature into the young adults you are, and it's kids like you who are the reason I love to teach. We've shared so many laughs along the way, and I won't ever forget you for that. Mark Twain once said, 20 years from now, You will be more disappointed by the things you didn't do than by the ones you did. So throw off the lines, sail away from the safe harbor, catch the trade winds in your sails, explore, dream, discover. I'm so excited for what the future holds for you, and if you work hard, do what's right, stay kind, and keep a great sense of humor that all of you have, the world is yours. So, to all the Dougs and Johns out there, and everybody in the class of 2018, congratulations and thank you so much. I love you.
Good afternoon. My name is Steve Pushkar, and it is my pleasure to speak to you as the principal of Claysburg-Kimmel High School. In a few moments, I will have the honor of introducing each of the members of the class of 2018. But before I do so, I wish to acknowledge and thank several people who helped make this afternoon possible. With us today are several members of the Claysburg-Kimmel Board of School Directors. These individuals, under the guidance and leadership of Board President Richard Gergley and Superintendent Darren McLaurin, work tirelessly and cooperatively to ensure that our students' scholastic needs are met. Also present this afternoon are several members of the administrative team and members of our custodial, maintenance, food service, and administrative assistant staff. These individuals are the backbone of the school, and we are grateful for their efforts. Perhaps most importantly, there are several faculty members present, both elementary and secondary, and while you, the parents and guardians, were your child's first teacher, each of the teachers of the Claysburg-Kimmel School District have embraced the job of educating your children to the best of their ability. A special recognition is offered to the senior class advisor, Ms. Jennifer Cruz, and the accompanist for today's ceremony, Mr. Tom Ringler. On the wall behind me, you see the class motto: "We cannot discover new oceans unless we have the courage to lose sight of the shore." As I was composing this address, I wondered about the origin of this quote. So, like most people would do, I turned to Google and I did a search. I found that the quote is actually a misquote, and it is a version of the original: "One doesn't discover new lands without consenting to lose sight for a very long time of the shore." This quote is from a work by the late French author and Nobel Prize in Literature awardee, André Gide. His work was entitled The Counterfeiters. Regardless of the version of the quote, when I saw it in the hallway outside Miss Cruz's room, it stuck with me. I think what made an impression was wondering what one should do when they embark upon a journey, when they leave the shore. What came to mind was having a state of awareness and a desire to make a difference no matter where one finds themselves. Awareness is an interesting thing. The late author David Foster Wallace once penned the following: "There are these two young fish swimming along, and they happen to meet an older fish swimming in the other way, who nods to them and says, 'Morning, boys, how's the water?' And the two young fish swim on for a bit, and then eventually one of them looks over at the other and says, 'What the heck is water?'" Now, I could wax philosophical about the many meanings that can be found in this quote, but I choose instead to focus on awareness. Members of the class of 2018, as you swim along in life, discovering new oceans, be aware of your surroundings. More importantly, be aware of your place in your surroundings and the contributions you make. How many of you can say you were always aware of your surroundings while at CKHS? Emily, I know for a while you were aware of your surroundings as you sought Wilson after some mean old principal kidnapped him.
Oh my God.
There he is. Ty, how aware of you were you of your surroundings on the football field as you drove the team down the field? I would say very aware because your efforts and those of your teammates led to the first home playoff game in Claysburg-Kimmel history. Hunter, how aware are you on the ice as you skate hour upon hour seeking to be the best? Liam, how aware were you of the countless hours your mother lovingly put into the task of running the boosters so that you and all your teammates could have a memorable senior season? Bailey, I have seen your artwork, and last night at baccalaureate I heard what an incredible voice you have. I know you are aware of your surroundings because your talents would not be as developed if you were not. I could go on and on, but the point is, regardless of the level of your awareness within the walls of CKHS, remember to go forth with an awareness of all around you so that you can both appreciate it and have an impact. My second takeaway, that of making a difference, and what a daunting task it can be, may be best summed up by an adaptation of an excerpt from the late Lauren Isley's The Star Thrower. Many of you may know it as the starfish story. There are many versions of this adaptation, and one version goes like this. One day a man was walking along the beach, and when he noticed a boy picking something up and gently throwing it into the ocean. Approaching the boy, he asked, "What are you doing?" The boy replied, "Throwing starfish back into the ocean. The surf is up and the tide is going out. If I don't throw them back, they will die." "Son," the man replied, "don't you realize there are miles and miles of beach and hundreds of starfish? You can't make a difference." After listening politely, the boy bent down, picked up another starfish, and threw it back into the surf. Then, smiling at the man, he said, "I made a difference to that one." You see, opportunities to make a difference are all around you. As members of the CKHS class of 2018, how will you make a difference? When I walk into the classrooms here at the high school, I see teachers making a difference, even if you don't see it. I've seen Mrs. Bennett reinforcing what she expects from her students, all in the hopes of making a difference. I've seen Mr. Walters spend countless hours here at the school on FBLA field trips, making a difference as the FBLA advisor. I've seen Mrs. Ritchie racing through lessons while her students sometimes groan, but I know she's making a difference. I've seen Mrs. Heckman meeting with students in need, and the difference she makes is incredible. I've seen Mr. Burkett teaching driver's education, and believe me, when I get on the road every day after school, I certainly hope he has made a difference. I've seen Mr. Lack approach teaching physics and chemistry with such enthusiasm that he can't help but make a difference. I know I learn something every time I walk into his classroom. Ultimately, there were difference makers all around you while you were a student here at CKHS. Your immediate new oceans are as follows. 25 of you are about to enter a four-year college or university. 7 of you are seeking a 2 or 4-year technical degree. 2 of you have enlisted in the armed forces, and let me say ahead of time, thank you for your service, and let's give those 2 a round of applause. And 15 of you will be entering directly into the workforce. As you go forth today, ask yourself, what are my surroundings? How can I make a difference? Your scholastic experiences have prepared you to embark upon the next phase of your life. What you do with it is up to you. You all have my sincerest wishes for a happy, healthy, and successful future. Remember, you are a bulldog for life, and your school is always here for you. It is now my pleasure to introduce to you the members of the class of 2018. Rebecca Renee Brumbaugh. Megan Love. Tatum McKee. Carly J. Kreidler, recipient of the Levi H. Walter Scholarship, the NPC FBLA Award, the Claysburg Legion Band Award, and the Rotary Scholarship. Bethany J. Dominguez. Bailey Crawford. Mackenzie Lynn Wyant. Jamie Lynn Ellis. Michaelyn Bowman. Erin Nicole Odie. Caitlin Elizabeth Clore. Carson McCready. Amber Musselman. Kayla Brianne Fluke, recipient of the Charles R. Butch Metzger Scholarship, the Claysburg Legion Band Award, and the Keith Claycomb Scholarship. Kendra Cheyenne Rodebush. Tori Marie Lear. Michaela L. Nolan, recipient of the Greater Altoona Career and Technical Center Award. Hannah Rebecca Sue Gill. Olivia Dybert. Destiny Rose Haar. Kaylin McGraw. Stephanie Lockard, recipient of the Brumbaugh Insurance Award. Trathan Becker. Noah Schwartz. Lane Burkett. Kyle A. Biesinger, recipient of the D.E. Brumbaugh Memorial Scholarship and the Galen P. Dively Memorial Award. Liam Evan Lafferty, recipient of the McEldowney Academic Scholarship, the William Roy Walter WW2 POW Armed Forces Award, the Keith Claycomb Scholarship, and the D. Michael Claycomb Athletic Fund. Deegan Feather. Garrett Dively. Cody Claycomb. Dalton Wyant. Dalton Coral. Jacob Hunter. Jordan Diber. Owen Dermer. Tanner Hunt. Nicholas Maslanik. Evan Ritchie, recipient of a Levi H. Walter Scholarship and the Dar Good Citizen Award. Heath Edward Mock, recipient of the Carol Ann Close Math Award. Ty Hagan. Chance Matthew Haar, recipient of the George S. Dively Scholarship. Emma Lawrence Smith, recipient of the Jenny Dively Gardner Scholarship, the Arthur R. Walter Jr. Award, the Basics Attendance Council Award, the John Yingling Insurance Award, the CK Alumni Award, the M.A. Dively Book Award, the Kristen E. Ungst Memorial Scholarship, and the American Legion Auxiliary Department of Pennsylvania School Award. McKenna Rose Harbaugh, recipient of the CK Alumni Health Profession Award. Raylyn M. Graybill, recipient of the Nason Foundation Community Service Award, the Champion Home Builders Business Award, and the CK Alumni Health Profession Award. Emily June Walter, recipient of the T.L. Dively Math Award, the First Commonwealth Bank Award, the Hometown Bank of PA Scholarship, Friends of the Claysburg Community, and Claysburg American Legion Award. Hunter McLean Evans, recipient of the Macedonia Academic Scholarship, the Warren C. McCarthy Memorial Award, the First Commonwealth Bank Award, the Robert Teach Linsenberger Memorial Scholarship, the William Roy Walter WW2 POW Armed Forces Award, the Keith Claycomb Scholarship, Western Pennsylvania Trial Lawyers Association President's Scholarship, the Heidelberg Scholastic Scholarship Fund, and the U.S. Figure Skating Gold Level Award. Mr. Board President, I present to you the members of the class of 2018.
Thank you, Mr. Kuskar, and good afternoon. It's a pleasure to be with all of you today. Graduates, it's that time. By the power vested in me as president of the board of the directors, I hereby declare you graduates of Claysburg-Kimmel High School of the Claysburg-Kimmel School District with all the rights and privileges thereunto attached as members of the class of 2018. Congratulations.
Please stand for the singing of the alma mater. Gentlemen, please remove your caps.